Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 3 of this series, where I torture myself with video games. If you haven't seen the first two, I'd recommend watching those ones first. As usual, a few friends of mine voted on which game I should play, and they picked Bowser's Inside Story. With how the polls have been going, it seems pretty likely that the next game I do is Dream Team. Before I start, I'll go over the rules, and this time there's even a new one. 1. No using easy mode, since easy mode increases your stats a stupid amount, making the point of this challenge completely pointless. 2. If an enemy dies in a fight but can be seen after the fight in the overworld or a future Mario and Luigi game, it does not count as a kill. 3. No save states during boss fights. 4. I can only defeat required enemies, so I can't grind experience from them. 5. No major glitches. 6. No items that can increase experience, since that would break the challenge. 7. Giant battles still count towards the kill count. With the rules out of the way, let's start the run. The Mushroom Kingdom has been hit by a massive pandemic. Obesity! The citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom have been eating strange mushrooms that contain a lot of unhealthy ingredients recently. Princess Peach holds a meeting to try and find a way to cure everyone, and even invites a Star Sprite, but nobody has any good ideas. Mario and Luigi arrive extremely late, as usual, and make their way to the meeting. The meeting drones on for a bit, and no progress is made at all. Suddenly, Bowser appears. And for once, he actually makes a good point. He should be allowed at the meeting, since some of his minions are also sick, and he does in fact live in the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario attacks him anyway, and the first fight of the game starts. I'm going to try and go into more detail into the fights, unlike what I did in the first two videos, but this fight is the most generic tutorial ever. It is literally impossible to lose, and Bowser can only do 1 damage per hit. The only thing notable to say about it was that I got hit once, because I was getting used to the controls again. Also, just like the previous 2 videos, kills and fights will be counted separately, and since Bowser doesn't die, that's 1 for the fight count and none for the kill count. Peach uses her telepathy to throw Bowser out of the castle, and resumes the meeting. Bowser wakes up in the middle of the woods, being killed by one of his Magic Koopas. The Magic Koopa teaches Bowser how to Bowser, and they find a strange man selling some weird mushrooms. The man tells Bowser with this mushroom, he could easily beat Mario. Bowser quickly snarfs down the mushroom, and he starts to feel weird and blacks out. Mario and Luigi are hanging out at the destroyed meeting room with everyone, when Bowser shows back up and inhales everybody. I usually exaggerate the story or make up parts of it for some slight comedic effect, and I have been for parts of this video so far, but this game is just too absurd to even think about exaggerating most of it. For example, this exact scene. Anyways, after everyone is inhaled by Bowser, Mario wakes up and sets out to try and find everyone else. Mario finds Starlo in what I believe is a neutrophil extracellular trap, or basically a part of the cell that traps and kills things in the body it deems hazardous. Mario destroys it and saves Starlo, but the destroyed trap reforms into a Goombool. I hate to not say much about this fight, but it's just an easier version of the Bowser fight, which results in the enemy dying this time. It is the first fight to give experience, though, so I might as well go over that. As usual, getting enough experience will level up Mario, and when he gets a level up, his stats increase. Most of his stats are helpful, but 2 are essential for completing this run: growth points and power. Power is pretty self-explanatory, but Bros Points allows each bro to have more points stored, which can be spent on Bros attacks, although those aren't available yet. Mario and Starlo venture forth through the rooms ahead. In this game, it's actually way more difficult to avoid entering unnecessary battles. Since the areas are big 2D platforming areas instead of large 3D areas, the only way around enemies is over or under, which is way harder than walking around them. After exploring deeper into Bowser's body, Mario finds Luigi stuck in one of those traps and yanks him down. The trap reforms into two Goomballs, and Starlo teaches Mario how to start a fight doing damage, which is almost completely pointless for this run, since it can't be used against bosses and some specific enemies, which are the only enemies I fight in this game. This fight has the first interesting challenge. If Mario or Luigi kill the Goomballs within the first 2 turns of the fight, a copy of the Goomball will drop from the ceiling, making the kill count go up even more. It's extremely easy to get around though. Just fill the jumping action command and they won't die quickly enough for more to spawn. Mario and Luigi find a box holding some hammers, but can't open it, so they look for a way to open it. They find a weird puzzle block, and get an attack piece after hitting it. Attack pieces are this game's way of unlocking bros attacks. If the bros get 10 attack pieces, they get a new attack, and each new attack is more powerful than the last, but also costs more bros points to use. Mario and Luigi collect all 10 attack pieces, unlock the green shell, and are forced into another tutorial fight. It's another fight against 2 Goomballs, but this time they have helmets. All this does is prevent all damage to them from jump attacks, so I just use a few green shells and kill them both very quickly. After this, Mario and Luigi fall through the floor, directly into the box with the hammers, breaking it open. Using the hammers to destroy Bowser's nervous system, they knock an egg-like thing from a ledge. Mario and Luigi destroy the egg with their hammers, and find 2 spike blobs, before being forced into yet another fight. This fight is just like the helmeted Goomball fight, except this time the bros use hammers instead of green shells. After killing the spike blobs, it's just a few short hallways until the bros leave the trash pit, and get access to 3 other areas of Bowser. Mario and Luigi go straight for Bowser's funny bone, and hit it a couple times, waking up Bowser from his slumber. Bowser gets up, and finds himself in a cave. After solving a very easy puzzle, Bowser finds a stack of flammable stuff, like barrels and ropes, and tries to burn it down, but finds his flame breath missing. Bowser talks to the voices in his head, and yells at them to fix his flames, before exiting the cave and finding himself high up on a cliff, near the ocean. Fawful swoops in, shows how he attacked Bowser's castle with his Fawful bots, and calls his minion, Midbus, to beat up Bowser. This fight acts as a tutorial on how to fight as Bowser, so there is no real challenge here. Bowser has a punch and fire attack, but his flames are currently unavailable. Bowser can also dodge attacks by punching or hiding under his shell, but he can't hide under his shell yet, for some reason. After a few turns of attacking Midbus, Midbus decides to end the fight in a single turn, and cheats, using an unavoidable attack. Just like in Partners in Time, if I'm forced to lose a fight, it will not be added to the fight count. After this, Midbus decides to leave without killing Bowser, and Bowser starts to make his way down the cliffs. The enemies in this area are super easy to avoid, and I don't enter a single fight that is not required. On his way down the cliff, Bowser hears a new voice in his head. It tells him to break a rock and touch a thing called a chalk road. Touching the chalk road allows Bowser to teleport between places he has been. After climbing down the cliffs, Bowser finds himself at a huge beach and wanders around. Bowser finds a French block, and he offers to trade a rare block he found if Bowser can save him. Bowser, being Bowser, decides the best method of saving the Frenchman is by pulling the entire island by a rope. Even if Bowser had the strength to pull the rope, it would snap anyways, since it's just a rope. Mario and Luigi head to Bowser's arms, and after a quick minigame, they increase Bowser's strength, and Bowser somehow pulls an entire island to shore. The Frenchman gives Bowser the rare block, and offers to teach Bowser how to use it. This then leads to another fight. Bowser uses the new block on the Frenchman, and it allows him to swallow him whole. This then leads the Frenchman to Mario and Luigi, but he leaves. Normally after this, the fight would go on for a few turns, but because I said I was fine without learning how the block worked, the fight ended in a single turn. The Frenchman leaves, and Bowser continues to explore the beach until he finds an odd statue. He immediately tries to destroy it, but the statue activates, attacking Bowser. This boss fight could have sucked so much if it weren't for the vacuum block. I would be unable to damage the boss with any attacks because its head is elevated from its body, making it impossible to hit. The only way to damage it would be to counterattack its attacks, which would do 2 damage, and the boss has 360 health, so it would have taken 180 counterattacks to kill it. Thankfully, using the vacuum block, Bowser can eat the sea pipe statue's head, and Mario and Luigi can attack it with their green shell. After a few turns of attacking its head, the statue will escape Bowser's body and ram into the statue, getting stuck for a few turns. This allows Bowser to attack it directly for a few turns, although he is incredibly weak and only does 9 damage. After defeating the boss, the statue goes dormant again, and this does not count as a kill, since the statue is still fully intact. Suddenly, some trees shoot up out of the ground, trapping Bowser, since he can't use his fire breath to burn the trees. The sea pipe statue suddenly starts to spit out some water. Bowser drinks some of the water, and a new path opens in Bowser's body, allowing Mario and Luigi to progress deeper. When Bowser drinks water, it moves his bones out of the way for Mario and Luigi, which does not seem very healthy. This area starts a couple of trends for the rest of this challenge run. First of all, collecting attack pieces is almost completely useless, since green shells work much better than every other attack, due to its minimum damage cap and cheap cost. Secondly, Mario and Luigi have a habit of absolutely destroying Bowser's body. For this area, they feed these weird bug things some rocks, which causes the bugs to go berserk and destroy more of Bowser's bones. After exploring Bowser's body for a bit, they find this electric thing, put it into something, and it opens up a ton of new areas to explore. Mario and Luigi find Bowser's flame pipe, but it's being blocked by a ginormous bug. It eats Starlo, and Mario forces Luigi to fight with him. This fight is fairly easy, but I was still getting used to my new screen layout for the emulator I was using, so I was getting hit by fairly easy attacks. The bug can actually do a lot of damage with a single hit, despite being an extremely early game boss, and I had to heal quite a few times. The boss doesn't take too long to beat though, and Bowser regains his ability to breathe flames, and burns down the trees in his way. Immediately in the next room, Bowser finds the Frenchman being attacked by a ravenous dog, and helps him. The dog is completely immune to punches, so I have to swap to fire attacks. The dog only has one attack, which is very easy to dodge, They do use a new mechanic for it though, ducking. The dog and Frenchman run off, and Bowser continues his quest to recover his castle. Bowser enters the forest and finds the Frenchman once again. This time, he's running a shop he just opened. I buy some new equipment and leave, but before I get anywhere, he asks if I could help him again. He wants Bowser to collect a bunch of small blocky cats for him, called Blitties, and if I do, he'll give me a brand new attack. I proceed to never do this, because that attack costs a ton of BP to use, which I don't have that much to spare. After launching even deeper into the forest, Bowser finds a squadron of Goombas trapped in a cage. Bowser makes a bridge over to them using a Wiggler statue, and breaks the cage open, before a Fawful appears. Fawful laughs at Bowser's attempts to get back to his castle, and shows Bowser how he has captured all of his minions. He then throws 2 Treevils on Bowser. This fight acts as a tutorial for brawl attacks, so it's fairly easy. This fight does show how underleveled Bowser truly is, since it takes a while to kill some basic enemies. Bowser ventures deeper into the forest and finds the Elite Trio. They escaped the attack on Bowser's castle and brought a Bonsai Bill launcher with them. Apparently, Corporal Paraplonk forgot to bring the ammo, so they can't launch it yet. Bowser sets out to find a Bonsai Bill, but ends up finding a garden instead. He finds a massive carrot, and plans to use it as a bullet. He yanks it out of the ground, but it's actually way too big for the cannon. A Wiggler scolds Bowser for yanking their prized carrot, and to make up for ruining it, Bowser must eat the entire carrot in under a minute. This minigame is one of the most hated minigames in this entire game, and I knew it was going to be a major roadblock. I beat it in under 11 seconds. After Bowser ate the entire carrot, Wiggler offered to give him a Bonsai Bill as a reward. Wiggler immediately forgets his promise and attacks Bowser for yanking the carrot and then eating it. It's kinda like he has dementia. This fight has a few problems for the challenge run. Every once in a while, a few leaf guys carrying a giant turnip will appear. You're supposed to use the vacuum block to inhale them, but that would also stop the fight from progressing until Mario and Luigi killed them. This means every time they show up, I'm guaranteed to take damage, although it is not that much damage. The other problem is that this fight is just like the Wiggler fight from Superstar Saga. To damage the boss, you need to attack every single segment and turn them yellow, and then the head is vulnerable to attacks for 2 turns. The final problem is that Wiggler doesn't give any experience when you beat him for some reason. Wiggler runs away and digs into a hole, before throwing out a Bonsai Bill. Bowser takes it, and starts heading back to the cannon, before stopping because of some serious pain. Mario and Luigi go to check it out, and find a giant worm feeding on Bowser's white blood cells. This fight is so annoying. Dermite has an insanely large health pool, so it takes a lot of hits to kill her. She can also heal herself by pulling out a straw and stealing Bowser's energy, but it can be prevented by destroying the straw. She can just use the straw every turn she has though, and since it takes 1 attack to destroy it, it decreases my damage output by half. Dermite also has a really annoying string attack, which will drag it across the ground a few times in a row, and it does so much damage. Dermite would also fight with the white blood cells to attack the bros. When the white blood cells attack, if I time my jump poorly, I can accidentally damage and kill them, although I never ended up actually killing them. If the white blood cells show up, I just have to hope Dermite eats them so I don't have to deal with them at all. After Dermite is defeated, she shrinks down and runs away. Mario and Luigi go a little deeper into the nerve cluster, and the white blood cells ambush them, destroying a large part of Bowser's nerves. Mario and Luigi activate another nerve, and Bowser's punch is now even stronger. Bowser heads back to the cannon and puts in the Bonsai Bill, preparing to fire it at his own castle. Bowser launches the Bonsai Bill directly at Bowser's castle, but Midbus decides to cheat, and just moves the entire castle out of the way at the last second. Midbus decided the best place to move the castle to was on Bowser's face. Mario and Luigi go to Bowser's ass, which apparently contains all of Bowser's power, since they were able to revive Bowser and make him a giant. Giant fights are not affected by level at all, so there is no difference in the difficulty from how the fights would normally happen, so I won't be mentioning them unless they have kills in them. I will briefly mention that the Shy Guy scouts they sent at the start of the fight do not count as kills, since the Shy Guys can be seen being launched from the airship after it's destroyed, and they clearly are not dead. After Bowser beats up the castle, Midbus retreats and puts the castle back where it originally was. Bowser takes an uneventful walk back towards the castle. He does save the Shy Guy squadron on the way there, but because of how underleveled Bowser is, it does almost no damage. Bowser makes it back to his castle, but Midbus fires up his rockets and shoots a cannonball at Bowser. Mario and Luigi increase Bowser's arm strength again, and Bowser damages his castle even more. Bowser storms in, just to find Fawful turn his castle into a theater, and brainwashed a ton of his minions. Bowser decides he might as well watch the show, but all the seats are taken. He goes and finds management, and they tell him that Fawful actually reserved a special seat for him. Bowser takes a seat, and the show starts. Unsurprisingly, the special seat Bowser got was a trick, and Bowser is launched up onto the stage. Fawful prepared a special fight for the audience, Bowser versus Midbus. This is another really difficult fight. Midbus's level is 3 times higher than Bowser's, and he can kill Bowser in a single hit with one of his attacks. Most of his attacks are very easy to counter though, so the only real problem is how long it takes. He has about 1000 health, and I can do 40 damage per turn because of the Goomba Squad's minimum damage cap of 2 damage per hit. That means it would take 25 perfect turns to beat this boss, but I also have to heal and refill my BP so I can continue using Goomba Storm. So this fight took a little while. Not nearly as long as Mom Piranha or Elder Princess Shroob from the last 2 games, but still a very long time. After Midbus is defeated, Fawful offers Bowser a feast, since he won the fight. Bowser, still not learning from his mistakes, trusts Fawful and goes to the feast. Bowser eats a lot of food at the feast, way too much in fact, since he's now extremely chubby and falls into the floor. Mario and Luigi decide to explore Bowser's body, and try to find a way to revert him back to normal. They find Peach being attacked by some weird blobs, and they take her away. Mario and Luigi give chase, but before they can catch Peach, a bridge collapses, and Luigi falls into a pit of mucus.
Luigi!
Suddenly, Princess Lipid rises out of the mucus, holding a wondrous treasure and Luigi. Princess Lipid asks Mario which object he dropped, and Mario obviously picks his brother. For his honesty, Princess Lipid gives Mario the wondrous treasure and Luigi, before sinking back into the mucus. Mario and Luigi open up the chest and get 2 badges, and also 2 tenderlings. Badges work a lot differently than they did in the last game. Instead of acting as gear, which gives different effects, they act as a meter, and the more successful hits you pull off, the more the meter fills up. Once the meter is full, it gives 1 badge effect to the side of the screen. There could be a maximum of 2 badge effects stored at once. Depending on which badges I have equipped, they do different things. The badges I got from Princess Lipid heal Mario and Luigi's health by 20%. The tenderlings aren't a problem, and just take a quick second to kill. They do act like the Goombulls from the trash pit, so if you kill one too quickly, it will be replaced by a new one, but that's not that big of a deal. After beating the tenderlings, Mario and Luigi reach level 6, and every time their levels are a multiple of 6, they rank up. Rank ups in this game give the bros 1 permanent effect for the rest of the game. I had the choice between Beefy Bro and Suave Bro. Suave Bro would increase the BP I get after every level up, as well as stash. Beefy Bro would increase power and health though. Since screen shells don't use that much BP, and I technically have infinite BP because of the siphon gloves, I chose Beefy Bro. Mario and Luigi continue onwards and find a giant maze. Instead of paying the Nutso-Globin to take quizzes, I just brute force it, and also find a new bros attack, which I'll never use. Mario and Luigi learn how to spin jump for the 3rd time in this series, and bounce right up to the next room, where they find the weird blobs that stole Peach. Mario and Luigi free Peach, but the blobs reform, and attack Mario and Luigi. The Alpha Cretin has a single attack, and it is super easy to dodge. The gimmick of this boss is how each segment of it can only be damaged by one of the bros, depending on its color. This really doesn't matter though, since each segment can be destroyed in a single attack. After all of the parts are destroyed, the Alpha Cretin collapses. The 5 segments that disappear don't count as deaths, since they're all part of the main Alpha Cretin. Now, the remaining piece of the Alpha Cretin duplicates itself into 6 identical copies. Just keep track of which one is real, and attack that one, and the fight is over really quickly. It does have 1 attack, but it's also extremely easy to dodge. After the Alpha Cretin dies, a loud rumbling is heard in the next room. Starlo stays behind to protect Peach, as Mario and Luigi go and check it out. Mario and Luigi find a weird light, and Starlo fails at her one job, allowing Peach to get kidnapped. Turns out Fawful was the one who stole Peach. He throws a treadmill under Bowser, which is rather stupid of him to do. Bowser burns through his fat, and then blows himself up with a pile of bombs, launching himself deep into a pit. Bowser picks himself up and tries to find out where he is. He finds a group of Monty moles drilling into a wall. He helps them drill through the wall, and finds his way into Toad Town's sewers. He is immediately electrocuted by the security system, and passes out. Mario and Luigi explore a bit deeper into Bowser's body, and find a whole area full of pipes. They go down a purple pipe, and find that they're out of Bowser. Now that they're outside of Bowser, they can move in all directions, rather than just left and right, which makes avoiding enemies a lot easier. The bros hear Fawful laugh and try to find him. They find an exit to the sewers, but it brings them to an area behind Toad Town. They decide to use some gusts of wind to fly up into the sky and hit a random block. Some British Koopas get mad at Mario and Luigi, and tell them to pay them back, they must learn how to use blue shells. After quickly getting past that tutorial, and getting another useless bros attack, Mario and Luigi go back into the sewers. Using their new blue shell powers, Mario and Luigi open up some new pathways, and find two random toads in a hallway. Starlo makes a comment about the toads being suspicious, but they really aren't. There was a toad in the previous room, and there's a toad in the next room as well. But that doesn't really matter, because Starlo's flawed logic was actually correct.
Let's go! Okie dokie.
These two fall flants are a testament at how underleveled we are. These enemies usually take less than a minute to kill, but now they take a decent bit of time to get rid of, because of how little damage I do. Mario and Luigi hear Fawful in the next room, and find him up to no good, as usual. He's stealing the Dark Star. Mario and Luigi head to the surface and follow him to Peach's castle. Fawful was ready for this, and used the Dark Star to create a blockade, preventing anyone from getting into the castle. Mario and Luigi head back to Toad Town to try and think of what they should do next. A toad tells them that the shopping center is now open. I quickly buy one new badge, the POW badge, which increases power by 20% for 3 turns. I couldn't get the other badge I wanted though, since it's not in stock. Mario and Luigi decide to see if Dr. Toadley could help them, and head to the hospital. The nurse tells them that the doctor is only able to see one patient at a time. So, like any reasonable person, Mario and Luigi pretend to be sick with a world-ending disease. The nurse immediately lets both Mario and Luigi into Dr. Toadley's room, so he can properly diagnose them. He uses his crystal ball, and determines that Mario and Luigi have a serious case of Bowseritis. Bowser storms in, and fights Mario and Luigi, claiming that he's going to be the one to get the Dark Star. This fight already starts horribly, since Bowser must have been killing some enemies while I was away, since he is level 14 now. Now, since I can't confirm any kills, I'm not going to add anything to the kill counter, but it's heartbreaking to know Bowser doesn't like my challenge runs. Bowser also has a wide variety of attacks too. He can use his punch, which has 2 variations. One where I jump on him and do some damage to Bowser, and one where Bowser misses. He can also use Goomba Storm and Shy Guy Squad. Shy Guy Squad is super easy to dodge. Just hit Bowser with a hammer over and over. Goomba Storm, on the other hand, is pretty annoying. The attack starts easy, just jump over a bunch of Goombas. But in the second half of the attack, a bunch of Goombas are falling from the sky. You can tell which bro the Goomba will attack by which way it's looking, but it's still really annoying to time the hits. Bowser also has a fire attack, and if I get hit by it, I would be guaranteed to be killed. But it thankfully gives me a really long time to dodge it. After Bowser reaches half health, he'll use a drumstick and heal 999 health. So that's annoying. It's a long fight, but not nearly as annoying as the Bowser and Bowser fight from Partners in Time. After the fight, Dr. Toadley tells the bros that to break the blockade of Peach's castle, they need to find all 3 Star Cures and bring them back to him. Bowser overheard this, and runs off to try and find some on his own. Dr. Toadley tells the bros that the stage that they should look for is a blue worm creature. Looks just like that one worm the bros fought inside Bowser a while ago. Mario and Luigi rush over to a pipe, and enter Bowser's body again. They find the worm, and chase it into the energy hold, but can't follow it any further because it went past an immovable barrier. Mario and Luigi decide to wait for some change in Bowser's body, so they can hopefully get past the wall. Bowser is now miraculously at level 6 again, and starts exploring Blubble Lake, and finds the Koopa Squadron. They're locked in a cage behind a wall Bowser can't break. Bowser takes a few rafts into the ocean, and finds a huge boat. He decides to stop and smell some flowers, but this causes him to sneeze, sending him in the boat through that wall from earlier. Bowser saves the Koopa Squadron, and they're also another useless attack for this challenge run. Bowser finds a giant propeller in the lake, and decides to use it to fly to his castle. He smells some more flowers, and sneezes again, activating the propeller. This activates a secret robot, and it rises up and crushes Bowser. Mario and Luigi rush to revive Bowser, and another giant fight starts. There are not any kills in this fight, so I'm going to be skipping it. After the robot is destroyed, it falls onto the ground, and Bowser enters it. Bowser gets locked in a room and finds a completely blank book. The book suddenly has a ghost come out of it, and he tells Bowser about his marvelous invention, the Boo-Ray. When Bowser uses the Boo-Ray, it makes it possible to see his insides. Mario and Luigi notice a reaction in Bowser's body, and find the wall blocking the way is now gone, so they enter the energy hold. After a lot of exploring, the bros eventually learn how to drill into the ground, which must hurt Bowser a lot. Using this new drill ability unlocks some new areas and also makes it possible to collect beans. I'm not going to talk about them yet, but beans are very important. Mario and Luigi also get another bros attack, but it's yet again useless. The bros make a star to open a door and keep following the worm, until it eventually gets so pissed that it yells at them. The worm doesn't believe that they are actually good people, and that they will use the star cure for evil. And if they want the star cure, the bros must beat her in a fight. The fight starts fairly easily. She has a single attack, and it's super easy to dodge. The problem is that if I hit her more than 8 times, she'll enter her second form, and I'll do less damage and she will be way more dangerous. To maximize my damage, I use hammer attacks, since they do full damage, but also are only a single hit, filling the meter less quickly. When the meter is 1 away from being full, I use a bros attack, since any attack would fill the meter anyways. When Wisdom enters her second form, her defense and attack rises drastically, and she gains a bunch of new attacks. She can shoot a bunch of stars that the bros have to jump over, but it's fairly easy to dodge. She can also summon a heart crystal that the bros have to hit with a hammer, but I always struggled with the timing of this attack for some reason. Her final attack is shrinking the bros and chasing them. This attack is the most beneficial for me, since it allows me to damage the boss, while also reverting her back to her original form. To get her back to her first form, I have to damage her a lot. I could attack the wand directly, but it's more worthwhile to just attack the boss directly. I use green shells, and each green shell will get rid of about 1/3 of the meter. Once she is back in her first form again, I just repeat the cycle and attack her with my hammer, and end it with a green shell. After the fight, Mario and Luigi rank up again. This time, I have the choices of Suave Bro, which increases BP and stash for each level up, Stoic Bro, which reduces all damage taken, and Badge Boost, which increases how quickly badge effects charge. I chose Suave Bro, since there's one late game bros attack I want that costs a lot of BP to use. After Wisdom loses, she transforms into a butterfly, and then gives the bros a star cure. She then destroys some of Bowser's bone structure, and leaves. Mario and Luigi decide to explore the new area. They find a big bone structure, and decide to stimulate the muscles around it. This causes the nerves around it to completely break away, and the bone falls and pierces right into Bowser's leg. Despite this sounding absolutely horrible for Bowser's health, it actually allows Bowser to jump, and then slam into the ground, letting him press buttons on the ground. Bowser leaves the tower and finds Private Goomp. Bowser follows Private Goomp and finds out that Sergeant Guy and Corporal Paraplonk all got separated from each other. Bowser tells Private Goomp about trying to find star cures, and Private Goomp just happens to know where one is: Bowser's castle. Bowser leaves to go to his castle, and Private Goomp goes to look for the rest of the elite trio. Bowser enters his castle with no problem, and makes his way to the underground, but finds it blocked off. Bowser looks around the upper floors of the castle for something to break the entrance open, and finds a giant Fawful statue. After fighting against some of his brainwashed minions, he pushes it over the edge, and jumps into the underground. He enters his super secret treasure room, and finds train tracks running right through the middle of it. Bowser walks across the tracks to get to his safe, but he's run over by the Fawful Express, and is pushed all the way into a rock. Mario and Luigi revive him, and Bowser grows huge again. This giant fight actually has some slight significance to the challenge. About halfway through the fight, the Fawful Express hides in a hill, and it comes to life to attack Bowser. To finish the fight, I'm required to kill the hill, so that's 1 kill added to the counter. Bowser walks back into his treasure room, and gets ready to put in the safe combination, but he forgot it. Mario and Luigi go up to Bowser's head to go look for the combination. When Mario and Luigi get there, a part of Bowser's brain scans them, detects them as a virus, and prepares to fight them. Mario and Luigi decide it's a great idea to fight back, and possibly kill Bowser's brain. This fight has 2 enemies, the M memory core and the L memory core. The L memory core will run away after getting hit by 2 attacks, and will usually return in about 2 turns. The M memory core will stand there and fight the entire time. The L memory core has 2 attacks. It will either be chased by a Boo and jump around the bros, or it will throw a hammer that one of the bros have to hit. The M memory core also has 2 attacks. It can use a Mega Mushroom and hit blocks, so the bros have to hit the block fragments with their hammers. It can also attack with a Superstar, so the bros have to jump over it. The best strategy I found was to attack the L memory core with green shells until it ran away, and then use hammers on M memory core to refill all my BP. Then, when L memory core returns, just repeat the cycle. After the fight, the memory cores reform into the analysis memory core. It tells the bros that Bowser's memory has been damaged, and if they want the safe combination, they have to fix it. After solving a puzzle, Bowser regains his memory, and he puts in the safe combination, getting the Star Cure. Private Goomp says that there's something else in the safe, so Bowser takes a quick look. The Elite Trio slam the door on Bowser, and Bowser is stuck in his own safe. The Elite Trio take the safe and throw it somewhere where nobody will ever find it. Bowser, furious about being betrayed, all for a random star thing he doesn't even know what it really does, eats the Star Cure. Mario and Luigi go to Bowser's stomach and grab the Star Cure for themselves, before going back to Toad Town. Mario and Luigi head back to Dr. Toadley. Toadley tells them that the 3rd Star Cure is located high up on a mountain, where the air is really thin. Dr. Toadley says that if he was going to let Mario and Luigi go there, they would have to pass a quick examination. Mario passes on his first attempt, but Luigi can barely get the meter to go up at all. Luigi tries again, and this time he blows out the entire ventilation system, and Dr. Toadley tries to fix it. Mario and Luigi leave the room, and find the nurse trying to get the mailbird down. Mario decides to use the malfunctioning ventilation, and inhales a bunch of air, inflating him. He uses this to jump even higher, and gets Birdly down. Mario and Luigi leave to go to the mountain, but take a quick pit stop to do a puzzle with a Koopa. After finishing the puzzle, Mario and Luigi get a new Bros attack, which will actually be useful much later. Mario and Luigi climb the mountain, and find Chocrun at the top. Chocrun offers to give them the final Star Cure, as long as they can break him out of his pose. Mario and Luigi hit him with some heavy attacks, but they're not even close to knocking him over. This doesn't count as a fight, since it doesn't end with the bros winning, by the way. Mario and Luigi begin to leave, but Chakran stops them and tells them that the attack they need is somewhere in Dimble Woods. Mario and Luigi head to Dimble Woods. They quickly find 6 attack pieces and head deeper into the woods before being stopped by Wiggler. Wiggler won't let Mario and Luigi pass unless they collect 6 out of the 10 attack pieces. Since I already collected 6, I can just go through immediately. Mario goes on ahead to open the path so Luigi can follow, but Mario is kidnapped by some sock ops before he can catch up. Guess it's time for Super Luigi RPG!
Mario!
Luigi follows after the sock ops and jumps into a giant sock op. The giant sock op sucks up 4 Skutlets and they attack Luigi. They're an easy fight and have simple patterns. Only annoyance is that I can't use Bros attacks since I don't have Mario. After killing the Skutlets, Luigi hits the sock op and Mario is launched out, and Luigi gets stuck in the sock op. Luigi goes to try and find Mario, and also collects another 3 attack pieces while searching. Luigi finds Mario surrounded by 3 sock ops, and one of them has the final attack piece. Mario wakes up and gets Luigi out of the sock op. The 3 sock ops and the one Luigi was in all attack the bros. This fight isn't too bad. For the first time in the entire run, I use an attack other than Green Shell, and use the Fire Flower. I use the Fire Flower since the sock ops are weak to fire attacks and take extra damage from it. The main annoying gimmick of the sock ops is how if you jump on them, they heal, while also damaging the bro they grabbed. This also applies when dodging attacks. After killing all 4 sock ops, Mario and Luigi get the final attack piece, giving the bros the attack snack basket. Mario and Luigi go back to the mountain and up to Chakran and fight him again. This time, using snack basket, Mario and Luigi manage to knock Chakran over. Chakran, deeply upset that his 1000-year meditation has been shattered, pushes himself over the edge. Mario and Luigi are horrified, but immediately forget when they notice the Star Cure. Before heading back to Toad Town, I go and collect every bean possible. I did all of Cuzzle's puzzles, which gave me 9 of every type of bean. And I also collected every bean possible, except for the 3 in the energy hold, and the beans in Peach's Castle and the Airway. I can't collect the beans in Peach's Castle and the Airway, since I haven't unlocked those areas yet. I couldn't collect the 3 beans in the energy hold, because I forgot to collect them back when I first was there, and I can't collect them while Bowser is trapped. Mario and Luigi head back to Toad Town, enter the hospital, and go up to Dr. Toadley. Toadley uses the 3 Star Cures, and makes the Miracle Cure. He then uses it to cure obesity across the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario and Luigi rush to Peach's castle, and use the Miracle Cure to obliterate the Dark Star's blockade. Mario and Luigi find 7 attack pieces, but those British Koopas swoop in and claim that they were their attack pieces. Mario and Luigi give them 300 coins, and the Koopas tell the bros the location of the other 3 attack pieces. After running around the castle grounds for a minute, collecting another 15 beans and the final 3 attack pieces, the bros get the first useful bros attack since Green Shell, Falling Star. Falling Star costs a ton of BP to use, but it is super worth it, since it does 300 damage per use, and it lowers the defense of enemies, so I can do even more damage later. I go around to the back of the castle, to an area that Fawful and Minibus are using as a dump. Midbus shows up and uses a brand new robot to fight Mario and Luigi. Junker is a very easy fight. He hits like a truck, but using Falling Star, it doesn't take nearly as long as some of the other boss fights. The only notable thing to say is how I can't kill his minions. Every turn, at least one of them will run at Mario and Luigi, and the bros have to hit them with a hammer to dodge. To avoid damaging the enemies though, I can pull my hammer out early so they'll hide under their trash lids and take 0 damage. After the fight, Mario and Luigi rank up for the final time. The available bonuses this time were Stork Bros, which reduces all damage the bros take, Badge Boost, which refills the badge meter quickly, and Lucky and Good, which increases the lucky hit power. I chose Stoic Bros since surviving is a huge priority, and filling badges quicker isn't that useful, and I would prefer not to rely on RNG for lucky hits. The robot malfunctions, runs off, and destroys a safe, before dying. Bowser falls out of the destroyed safe, and lays there, not moving at all. Mario and Luigi return to Bowser's body. Bowser complains about not being able to move because of how bad his back is, which makes sense, since he was stuck in a safe for about 3 hours, and then thrown several times. So Mario and Luigi go to his back and drill into it. But before that, I actually talked to this one specific toad inside Bowser, and he told me a super secret code. If I use that code while healing Bowser's back, I don't have to wait 5 minutes while Bowser heals. After Bowser's back is fixed, he finds out he's even more flexible than he ever was, and can now roll up into a ball. This allows Bowser to move quicker, and also climb up soft walls. Before I venture deeper into Peach's castle though, I go back to Blubble Lake, and use the Boo Ray, so Mario and Luigi can get the final 3 beans in the energy hold. Using the Bowser Ball, Bowser climbs up a wall and enters Peach's castle. He immediately is stopped, because Fawful has locked the way forwards, and has 3 Fawful Copters holding the keys forwards. It's not hard to catch and steal the keys from all of them, and I open all of the doors. One of them contains the Magic Koopa Squadron, another useless attack. One contains a pretty good piece of gear, and the final path is the way forwards. After going a little bit further, Bowser uses a conveyor belt to launch himself high into the sky, but is shot down by some giant piranha plants that Fawful grew. Instead of just ignoring them and exploring the castle, Bowser decides to attack them. Using the Bowser Ball, Bowser flies through the air and attacks both of the piranha plants, and totally doesn't kill them. After he beats them up, he returns to the castle's roof and slams through the ceiling, before exploring more of the castle. Bowser finds Fawful, Midbus, Peach, and the Dark Star all in a single room. Midbus challenges Bowser to yet another fight, and Fawful uses one of his machines to power up Midbus even more. Blizzard Midbus is a real pain to fight, especially since Bowser is level 6 and Blizzard Midbus is level 30. Every single one of Blizzard Midbus's attacks kill Bowser in a single hit. Midbus also has about 2,500 health, while I can do 40 damage per turn. Even worse, Midbus will summon 4 Snoffles, and every turn, the Snoffles will heal Midbus by 300 health, which is much more than he heals in the original version of the game. The only way I managed to beat this fight was to find every bean possible and give Bowser every defense and health bean I had. I decided to save the power and BP beans for later, since there could be bigger roadblocks ahead. Not like the power beans would have put Bowser over that 300 damage threshold. The only way to beat this fight is to inhale the Snoffles and have Mario and Luigi kill them. Midbus will summon 4 more minions, so I repeat this process again, and this causes Bowser to spit out an ice chunk, which prevents Midbus from healing anymore. He only has 2 attacks he can use. He can jump onto the ceiling and throw snowballs, which is super easy to dodge. Once he jumps down, he'll curl into a ball, and Bowser must duck or punch to avoid it. The second attack is a giant snowball with a bomb in it. To dodge this attack, all I have to do is punch the bomb. But after Midbus is about half dead, he'll start hiding the bomb, so it's harder to avoid damage. Because of how many defense and health beans I gave Bowser though, he can survive one hit from this attack. Before I move on though, I would like to show you Calendar Man's run of the original game real quick. Since Giant Battles and Wiggler give Bowser experience in the original version of the game, he is at a much higher level than I ever could be. He used every power and BP bean on Bowser to increase his power dramatically, and managed to kill Blizzard Midbus without killing any of the minions. He does have to kill 4 minions after, though, since the fight won't end until every minion is gone. That means the original game has 4 less kills here. Anyways, after Midbus is killed, Bowser levels up 12 times and ranks up twice. The available rank up options this time are King's Horde, which increases BP and Horn per level up, King's Feast, which increases power for each level, and Drumsticks heal more health. I chose King's Feast first, since power is more important than BP. The second rank up gave me 3 options: King's Horde again, King's Power, which increases the power of Punch and Flames, and King's Grace, which increases the power of Brawl attacks. Which one I chose here didn't really matter, but I chose King's Horde, since I wanted more BP so I could spam stronger attacks more often. Midbus freezes and turns into a block of ice, and for my purposes, that still counts as murder. Fawful starts to absorb this Dark Star's power, but Bowser punches him far away before he absorbs it all. The Dark Star wakes up, and Bowser accidentally eats it whole. Mario and Luigi try to find it, and they venture into Bowser's throat. Bowser, having serious heartburn because of the Dark Star, resorts to inhaling some of Midbus's breath. This ends up freezing some water in Bowser's throat, allowing the bros to venture deeper into his body. They eventually find the Dark Star, and it's eating some of Bowser's DNA. Mario and Luigi push an ice block at it, but it just grows some arms and breaks its way deeper into Bowser. Mario and Luigi follow it, and find it eating more of Bowser's DNA. This time, they hit it with a bone, and it gets stuck in some mucus. It burns its way out and goes even deeper into Bowser, and Mario and Luigi chase after it. This time, the Dark Star was waiting for them, and caused the bros to nearly pass out. It then eats more DNA, and uses a Shell Slam to break its way even deeper into Bowser. This time I remembered I forgot to buy a badge from Toad Town, so I went back to the badge shop and bought the Pro Badge. When I use the Pro Badge and POW Badge, it causes one attack to have triple the damage it normally would. I also use all of my power and BP beans on Mario and Luigi, but mainly Mario. I head back to Bowser's throat and find the Dark Star in an empty room, before fighting it. The Dark Star starts the fight by summoning 2 Stalagmites. The Dark Star is completely invulnerable to all damage until its force field is destroyed. The only way to destroy the force field is to kill both Stalagmites, and then counterattack both of the Dark Star's attacks. The Dark Stars and the Stalagmites' attacks aren't really worth mentioning, so I'm not going to talk about them. The biggest problem is that after 2 turns, or 4 attacks, the Dark Star will repair its force field and respawn its minions. With 4 falling stars, even after increasing my power with beans, it is about 300 damage per attack. so I can do 1200 damage total. The Dark Star has 1600 health, so I am short 400 damage. That's where the POW and Pro badges come into play. With them, I can triple my damage with one attack, which increases my power enough to kill it in a single cycle. The Dark Star explodes, and a cyclone forms, sucking in a ton of Bowser's DNA. The Dark Star reforms as not Bowser, and flies out of Bowser. After Not Bowser flies out of Bowser's mouth, Not Bowser steals Peach and looks for Fawful, hoping to get back to his full power. Not Bowser breaks down the front door, and I quickly swap to Mario and Luigi to collect the last 4 beans in the game. Bowser walks outside of the castle and finds Fawful. Fawful decides he has had enough of Bowser and activates Super Peach's Castle of Fury, which crushes Bowser. Mario and Luigi revive Bowser, and he grows into a giant again. This fight, just like most of the others, has nothing notable happening in it, so I'll skip it. After punching Peach's castle across the whole planet, Bowser enters the castle again, looking for Fawful. He finds him almost immediately, and another fight ensues. This fight has some really annoying attacks and gimmicks. First of all, Fawful has his vacuum pack, and every time I attack him, he heals 500 health, so it's impossible to kill him while he has it. In the original version of the game, Calendar Man was able to kill Fawful because of having more experience, using his power and BP beans on Bowser, and also because Fawful only healed 300 health instead of 500. The most efficient way I found to destroy Fawful's helmet is to equip the Intruder Fang, which lets me attack twice per turn instead of once, and attack the helmet with Shy Guy Squad, which does some really big damage. If the helmet flies off of Fawful, Bowser can use the vacuum block to eat it, and then Mario and Luigi can destroy it. The second problem is his attacks. He has a few attacks he only uses when he has the helmet, but they're no concern. He also has 2 attacks he uses whenever he wants. They're also no major problem. The real problem is when he hits half health and gets this dark ball attack. The only way to counter it is to launch Goombas into it, and hit Fawful 3 times. The timing is really tight though, and it puts Bowser to about 40 health, and lowers his defense. Thanks to the Intruder badge though, I can fully heal, and then increase my defense back to normal in a single turn. At one point of the fight, Fawful just refused to attack for 1 turn, so I got to attack him 4 times in a row. After Fawful is defeated, Fawful transforms into a little goober! Fawful runs away, and Bowser heads back to try and find Not Bowser. Unfortunately, Bowser found Not Bowser inhaling Fawful, and Not Bowser finally gets to his full power. Bowser chases after Not Bowser, and they set each other on fire. Bowser and Not Bowser fly into a room and battle each other. After beating him first try, Not Bowser flies away, and Bowser chases after him. Bowser finds himself at the top of Peach's castle, and chases Not Bowser into a dead end. Not Bowser unleashes an intense storm on the Mushroom Kingdom, and Bowser engages in the final fight. This fight isn't very hard. I already know all of his attacks very well, and he doesn't do that much damage. I just spam Shy Guy Squad, and he dies pretty quickly. Fawful revives him, and increases his power a lot though. Not Bowser throws a giant ball of minions at Bowser, but this attack isn't difficult to avoid, and the minions don't explicitly die from this attack, so they don't count. Bowser punches Not Bowser in the stomach, and Not Bowser coughs up Fawful. After this, Bowser inhales Fawful, and the true boss begins. Fawful lands in Bowser's stomach and grows huge, towering over Mario and Luigi. His attacks aren't hard to dodge, except for one attack he uses after he passes half health, but he never used it. Fawful has 6 parts of him that can be damaged, but only one of them has his real health bar, and that part is the Dark Star core, way above his head. The only way to hit it is to destroy his legs, so it's reachable. The legs can't be destroyed until the eyes are gone first, though. The best way to deal with him is to use Spin Pipe on his eyes, then Snack Basket on his legs, and then spam Falling Stars on the Dark Star core. I actually had a badge effect charged by this point, and was able to do over 1000 damage in a single hit. After Fawful is killed, Not Bowser starts to glow, and Bowser uses the 1 KO punch, even though it's 5 punches. Not Bowser explodes, and the menace is finally gone. Fawful shows up again, and says he'll never do evil again. He'll disappear forever. He then proceeds to blow himself up to try and kill everyone. Unluckily for him, this actually gets everyone out of Bowser's body, and everyone is finally free. Bowser, furious that Mario and Luigi were inside his body, starts one more fight, and the credits roll.
Let's go. Okie dokie.
Now, time for the kill and fight counts. Mario fought 2 enemies, Bowser and a Goomball, and killed the Goomball. Luigi fought and killed 4 enemies, which were the 4 Skutlets. Mario and Luigi as a duo fought 25 enemies, being 4 Goomballs, 2 Spike Blobs, the Skutlet Boss, Dermite, 2 Tenderlings, Alpha Cretin, 2 Fall Flants, Bowser, Wisdom, the M&L Memory Cores, 4 Sock Ops, Chakron, Junker, the Dark Star, and 2 Dark Satalmites. They killed 19 enemies, which were 4 Goomballs, 2 Spike Blobs, the Skutlet Boss, 2 Tenderlings, Alpha Cretin, 2 Fall Flants, 4 Sock Ops, Junker, and 2 Dark Satalmite. Bowser fought 10 enemies, which were Broggy, 2 Treevils, Wiggler, Bowser's Castle, Midbus, the Tower of Yik, the Fawful Express, the Hill Creature, and Peach's Castle of Fury. Out of those enemies, Bowser killed 3, which were 2 Treevils and the Hill Creature. When Bowser, Mario, and Luigi were working as a team, they fought 15 enemies, which were Broke Monsieur, the Sea Pipe Statue, Blizzard Midbus, 8 Snoffles, Fawful, Fawful's Headgear, Not Bowser, and the Dark Star Core. They killed 12 enemies, which were Blizzard Midbus, 8 Snoffles, Fawful's Headgear, Not Bowser, and the Dark Star Core. That means there was a total of 56 enemies fought and a total of 39 enemies killed. Before I end, I want to shout out Calendar Man once again, since his run of the original game is really good and actually inspired me to do my own videos. A link to his video is in the description if you want to watch it. He also did a good video on the original version of Superstar Saga and Partners in Time as well. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. minis? Boom. Only count as skills if not in a future game later. Same game. Make sure it all looks good. That looks good. That looks good and good. I've been recording this entire thing.